talk today is Unbounded and Unstoppable, and what I love about that particular song is Elvis Presley sang that against everybody who said he was supposed to do something else. And he sang it because there is his great desire that segregation would stop and that people could all be accepted. And so he put himself at a bit of risk. And sometimes we have to do that, right? If we want to be unbound and unstoppable, we have to get in our mind and heart what it is that we think we really are and begin to live from that place, whatever that looks like. When we know our divine connection with Spirit, we can realize the truth of who we are. See, sometimes we forget. We forget we're one with this incredible power, that we are powerful, that we are creative, that we are dynamic, that we have within us every single thing we need in order to live a remarkable, powerful, positive life.
Yeah.
We've all been given it. We came in with it. We didn't have to find it. See, you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and the difficulty for us is this human thing, right? Because we are spirit, right? We're spirit. But we got put in this form, and then we have this world around us that says you got to do this, and you should do that, and you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Pride Month, you know, there's a lot of things still going on with people who are trans or even just the LGBTQ community overall that are still struggling to be seen and to be heard and to be accepted as human beings, as important parts of this world that we live in. And that's the piece that we have to come to terms with. And each one of us has the ability to begin to look at life from a new vantage point and start to live from our highest potential. So how do we do that? What, no answer? Well, I want to share a story.
Love is the answer.
Love is the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, where did I see that? Right there.
And on your arm.
Oh, on my arm. Yeah, love is the answer.
In your heart.
My heart here, the pathway to enlightenment. So I want to tell you a story about The Rock. Everybody knows Dwayne Johnson, and talk about a superstar, right? But you know, it wasn't always that way. Like all of us, there's a journey to get there. There's a journey to get there. So what I didn't know that I just found out is he was drafted by the Calgary Stampeders. Duh! I knew him as a wrestler, I know him as an actor, a comedian, funny guy. Love it when he works with Kevin Hart. Oh my goodness. Talk about a juxtaposition. It's beautiful. But he had it interesting growing up. His father was a wrestler, and he didn't want to follow that path. He decided he was going to be a pro football player. And he got drafted by the Calgary Stampeders and got that boot even before the season started. How crushing was that? So then he decided to be a wrestler. Now, he no sooner decided to be a wrestler, and the Stampeders came back and said, actually, we do want you back.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
When he was famous.
When he already went, nah. So he didn't do that. But between the time when he was like 15 years old, you know, his mom was having some challenges. She stepped into traffic and he yanked her back. Like that's a trauma. They lost their car, their home. So he came from a place of struggle. But there's somebody who's unstoppable. Man, that man. So his football career didn't happen, and that of course messed him up more than a little bit, I suppose. But what he realized over time is as he got into his wrestling career, and you know, at first he was really hated. He got like, get this guy out of here. We do not like him at all. So they rebranded him. You know, branding is such an important thing. We've heard about branding, right? You know, you get an image, you put all the right colors and things together and the right slogan, and all of a sudden you're branded. So he got branded as the villain. The villain. I think it's so funny. He's so big and funny. You know, I see some of his movies, and I love them so much. So he flunked out of, I don't know if it was college. Was it college? Yeah, something like that. Flunked out of university. So your grades don't matter. What your parents did before you doesn't matter. If you lost a job, a career, an opportunity, doesn't matter. You see, whatever blocks us and stops us is telling us something. And what it's telling us is this is not for you. Not today. But there's something that is for you. And that's the key right now, is we find what's ours to do. What is mine to do? What is it that's going to bring me to my fulfillment? And that's about opening mind and heart and figuring out who we are. So when it comes to schooling and stuff, we forget about that. If we believe in something so deeply and we decide to pursue it, which of course the Rock did, we may feel a sense of freedom. There are no limits, no barriers that can stop us. So I have a dream. I'm a little warm. Excuse me. I have a dream. And that dream is to write a Broadway musical. Now, I've been working on it for a while, and most of it actually is written. Yeah, I've done a lot of work on it. But I've kept stopping myself. And I think what I've come to realize is the idea was there, the formation of it was starting to take shape, which was very exciting. But then it's like, I don't know, there was just nothing next. You know, sometimes you're standing there and you got an idea, but it's like the doors haven't opened yet. It's just like when I started ministry. You know, I had this idea that I'm going to be a minister. And then when I graduated, nothing happened. There was nothing for a minute. And then all of a sudden somebody said, "Why didn't you apply for the center in Vernon?" I went, "Oh, I don't remember." So I went and did that, and they hired me. But I always had the dream of coming to Toronto, and I came here with $40 and 2 suitcases of summer clothes and my laptop, and had a dream, start a spiritual center. And it went really well, and it worked really well for a long, long time. But that dream of the musical was there even before that. And you know what I've come to realize is that stepping into something really big is a little bit scary. Anybody ever experienced fear? No?
No.
Oh, good. I want to borrow some of that. I want to borrow some of that because the thing is,
I'm too scared to experience fear.
Pierre's too scared to experience fear. I love that. I love that. The thing is that we get a little bit scared sometimes, and we stop ourselves, not because we think it's a bad idea that we have, and it's not because, you know, maybe in our minds we don't think we're up for the task, but there's a part of us, I think, that's afraid of either one of two things: a failure to fail or a failure to succeed, or I'm going to fail or I'm going to succeed. And the idea of success sometimes is a bigger block, right? So we don't try. We don't try. But what if we did? What if today, for the first time, we just shed the bullshit? Oops. Shed the blockages, the stoppages. You know where they exist, right? Right here. It's the only place. The Rock could have stopped when he first joined the WWF. Yes, do I have that right? WWE? I don't know.
Well, WWE now, but he probably did join the WWF.
WWF, okay.
It would have been that at the time.
At the time, okay. See, I just have to have the right wrestling people in the room for the wrestling conversation. So he could have quit right then when people were ridiculing him, and he was going by the name of Rocky something or other, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't like you." But Rocky Malveia, yeah, that was his name. And it didn't work. Didn't work. And he was trashed. So he could have, you know, rolled himself up in a little ball and went home and took his little baseball bat and ball and toys and gone away and sat in a corner and sucked his thumb. Could have. That'd be funny to see, actually. I might send him a letter and ask him to do that. But he could have done that, right? He could have just stopped. Could have given up. Why not? People don't like me. Oh, too bad. But he didn't. Instead, he became the Rock. And he became the villain.
Well, he became the most electrifying man in WWE history, actually. That's what they call him.
Yeah. But that journey of rebranding and coming forward. So where are you in your life? What are you doing today that you would like to do different better, bigger. You know, what is your dream? Genevieve, when she was, I don't know, 6 or something, said, I'm gonna win an Academy Award. I went,
I don't think I said Academy Award.
no, I think you said an Oscar. You said an Oscar. I'm gonna get an Oscar. And I went, wow, that's a great vision. What is your vision? What is your dream? Elvis Presley had a dream. Now, Elvis Presley, also an interesting life, right? He got taken for granted in big ways. Why? Because he was doing what he loved in the way that he loved it, but the people managing him wanted him to be different, do it different. But he gave his gift and really got in some trouble over it, especially when he did that song, If I Dream. If I Can Dream It? Is that what it's called?
If I can dream.
If I Can Dream. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can dream. All of us can. And whatever that dream is, we have the ability to manifest it, not someday, but today. And the joy of it is to find in our hearts that space where we're willing to take a risk. The risk of being seen. I don't know if it's about failure or success. I think it's about being seen. Will people like me? Will they want to support this idea or not? Who am I in the middle of the night when nobody's around and I don't know what's next? Who am I then? And when we can come to a place of accepting ourselves and beginning to live in a place of passion and purpose, we begin to see that one step at a time is the path of a journey. You see, I don't need to know the end result. But if I can visualize what that looks like, I can begin to work that to a place of going, yes. See, the universe only ever says yes to us. So if we can get that piece, so when it comes to my musical, as I'm writing it every day, I'm doing a little bit on it. And as I'm writing that and looking at it and sitting in it, I've created a vision of the opening day. Now, why would I do that? Because I want my mind to get a sense of the excitement. The excitement, the joy of the success. So whatever your dream is, whatever that dream is, begin to imagine it already done. And just write yourself a little story, a day in the life. You know, I wake up in the morning and here's what happens. And write a day in the life, the best day ever. And then record that in your own voice and listen to it. And read it. And share it. But only share it where people can go, yes. Don't share it with people who go, oh, you can't do that. See, that's where we get caught up sometimes. More often than not, we share our ideas, our dreams with people who really don't necessarily understand them, or they think that can't be done, or they know somebody who tried it and failed, and so they think you will too. But I'm here to tell you, each one of us is created unique and special. And because we're unique and special, the thing that I do, no one else can do the way I do it. And I'm here because I must do it. That's the other side. You see, we all came here with a little something, something that we're given to the world. That's our duty. That's our life mission. It's not about earning a living, raising a family, or being right. I do like being right, though. That's the best thing about this teaching. We were talking about it the other day. The very best thing about this teaching is I'm always right. I'm always right. If I think the day's going to be horrible, and it is, I'm right. Again. So from the Science of Mind Perfection, freedom is a divine quality in God that represents free will, independent expression, creativity, and liberty. Full freedom means no outer or inner restraint. Sometimes we think of freedom as, you know, the people out here are agreeing with me, so now I'm free. But no, freedom is my decision in myself to view life from a new vantage point, to begin to see possibility rather than limitation, to open my mind and heart so that I can step into each day going, this is the best moment, the very best moment, and I'm unstoppable. That's going to be, I think I'll write that on my bathroom mirror, unstoppable. Because reminding yourself day by day and moment by moment, I'm unstoppable. What am I going to do? Right? What am I going to do? What am I going to do today if I'm unstoppable? Oh, the things we could do. Oh, that reminds me of Dr. Seuss. Well, it does.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my mind in the Dr. Seuss, but yeah, I'm not there. I'm not Dr. Seuss. There was another unique individual. Freedom and liberty. We're coming up to Canada Day, which is kind of our independence, and of course July 4th is the independence of the United States of America. America, that's it, America. Gotta say it right.
Just America.
America, that's it, leave the aisle. America. So, you know, independence, you know, we see these, and many cultures have them at different times, right? They mark different dates as, you know, they're, you know, no longer being ruled by the English or the French or whoever, and there's that independence. And from that independence, there also comes a responsibility. Ah, don't you hate that? You see, I'm responsible for my life. Independence comes, what happened in Germany when the wall fell? Oh man, chaos. Was it good? Yeah, but it was a birthing process. You know, anybody who's had a baby knows the mess that is. But there's a birthing process. You know, communism dies and you know, democracy comes in, yay! Oh, crap. It's a whole new system. And we're in a system right now where we're looking at this whole colonial system. You know, we listened to Rico give us a land acknowledgement. We talked about the sacred land. It's not being treated sacredly. We're abusing it. And so if we want to change that, we have to take that colonial system and break it apart a little bit and find a new way forward. And I love this, this show, Station 11, because after a pandemic, all of a sudden people were finding their way in interesting ways. If you haven't seen it, check it out. There's an interesting pathway as human beings that we can learn to find a way to collaborate, to find something to hold on to, even though everything's different than what we thought it would be. And people we loved are gone, the change is immense, and yet somehow there was, you know, people figuring it out, creating a traveling Shakespearean show. It's fantastic, I loved it. We're on a path, and we're the ones creating it. Yes, you are creating your life, your way, under your terms. Shit, don't you just hate that? On the days when things don't go quite right and you're sitting back going, I wish, I wish, I wish, stop wishing and start doing. We are unstoppable, we are unbound, we are invincible. And with conviction and with a conscious connection, we can begin to manifest the life that we truly want to live. What we have to do, though, is we've got to pay attention to what's not working. When a door closes, look for the open one. Don't bang your head. Man, I do that well. That's why I get a headache sometimes. You know, concussions come from trying to force the universe to live in my way. All right, so in order to feel unbounded, we have to free ourselves of restraint with an unlimited ability to move and take action. Are you ready? Are you ready to move? Are you ready to take action? Are you ready to stand up for what you believe in? This is Pride Month. This is Pride Month, and there's a lot of people in the LGBTQIA+ community who are still being restricted by those of us around them. And so we must stop that. We must begin to see every human being as essential. We all matter. It's like, I often think of a tapestry. You know, there's some gorgeous tapestries in some museums. But you know, if one thread was missing, where would your eye go? It would go to the flaw. If any one of you was missing, the world would not be as it is. And the forward motion would change. Everyone is essential. The gift that you bring is essential. So finding your heart, finding your mind, finding your way forward is really important. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "Freedom is not the right to live as we please, but the right to find out how we ought to live in order to fulfill our potential." Your mom and dad told you stuff. Your teachers, mentors, neighbors, friends, relatives told you stuff. They told you who you are, and they lied to you because they don't know you. They don't know you. And I know they don't know you because you don't know you. So we have to start here. We have to find ourselves, find our voice, find the ways we're telling ourselves no, and stop that and begin to say yes. Start to listen to that inner calling, that inner divine drive, and say yes, and then rubber meets the road. And that's when change happens, and that's when possibility is present. I want to invite you to be you, authentic, honest. And you can disagree with me. I'm okay with that. But don't disagree with your own heart space. Find your life and begin to live it, because you deserve the very best.